It's like, what do you do with it? I mean, do you let it beat you? Do you let it destroy you? Do you let it kill you? Or do you try to cope with it and come out the other side better and stronger and still intact? Hello, lifers, and welcome to Life Lived Loud. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about politics, religion, philosophy. They kind of all get mixed up a little bit, but what I'm getting at is I read an opinion piece in the New York Times on January 3rd by a guy named Toby Levy. I don't know who he is. It just says he's a retired accountant, and he volunteers at a museum in New York City. But basically, the premise of his opinion article is that he says the Holocaust stole my youth. COVID-19 is now stealing my last years. And I thought to myself, first of all, I've actually thought that a little bit myself. I'm getting up in years, and yeah, you kind of look at life and say, hey, I don't have that many years left. I want them to be golden. I want them to be great. And so when something like COVID comes along, or a natural disaster comes along that takes years to get over, when you're 25, you kind of look at it and say, all right, let's get through it, and then life will go on. But when you're 60 or 70 years old, you kind of say, I don't know if I'm going to get through it, and I don't know if life is going to go on. I could die at any time. So I think it's kind of natural for people to have that sort of reaction when hard times come. But my feeling is a little bit different. I agree that it's crappy, and I don't want to devalue Mr. Levy's viewpoint, but it's really negative. I mean, it's absolutely a negative point of view to say my life started out as crap, and now it's ending as crap. It's like these are the bookends of my life, and I just think that's highly negative. And what I want to say basically is that I could argue that AIDS stole my youth and COVID-19 has stolen my senior years, because when AIDS came out, I was 20 years old. I was at the very beginning of my life, and especially of my sexual life, and I was ready to go out and raise holy hell in the world, and suddenly there's this plague, that if you have sex, you could get infected and die. And there were a lot of people then that felt gypped, that hey, wait a minute, it's our turn to have fun and now we can't. So I guess what I'm getting at is that the secret to life to me is that shit happens anyway, and therefore the secret to life is coping. It's simply a matter of how you cope with the shit, because the shit's going to be there no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter where you live, no matter how you live. There's going to be crap in your life, and sometimes it's small, but sometimes it's a worldwide pandemic. And so the secret is coping. It's like, what do you do with it? I mean, do you let it beat you? Do you let it destroy you? Do you let it kill you? Or do you try to cope with it and come out the other side better and stronger and still intact, mentally and hopefully physically? This is a cold, dangerous, harsh planet, posing basically as a happy place to live. I mean, we look at the earth and say, oh, it's paradise and it's beautiful. But the reality is, this is a dangerous, harsh world we live in. And we're lucky enough that there are parts of it that we can kind of we can eke out a life in. But the fact is, the dangers are all around us. And, when you look at the reality of the earth, it's not that safe a place. Cave people lost their youth to lions and tigers. Egyptians lost their youth to droughts and famines. Europeans, those who survived anyway, lost their youth to plagues, like the Black Plague. And then there's the steady march of wars and wars and wars and more wars, which have been going on since the beginning of humankind. I mean, it's just, we kill each other. So there's always shit. There's always natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, pandemics, and on and on. And therefore, if you look at it that way, yeah, life is shitty. And it's depressing and it's terrible. But what do you get out of looking at it that way? What's the benefit of looking at it that way? That's where I take exception to Mr. Levy's opinion piece, because if you understand that the secret to life is coping, then every day you live is a success story. You've coped. You've survived. Every day you don't get sick or eaten or murdered or starved or run over by a bus or hit by an asteroid is a resoundingly positive day. I mean, that's it. I absolutely acknowledge the shit. There's no doubt that it's there and it's real and it causes all of us a lot of grief. But I choose to celebrate every day as a victory. I choose to see every day as a chance to celebrate the beauty of nature, celebrate the warmth of friends and family, and celebrate the fact that this cold, dangerous, harsh planet has stayed the frick out of my way for another 24 hours. That's it. That's coping. I have coped with all the crap, and I'm happy because of it. And that's how I choose to look at life. That's my secret to success. You take what comes at you and you either let it destroy you or you cope with it. And I choose to cope. So, in fact, there's the dog agreeing with me. And hope it's helpful to you. It's part of how you need to look at life. Look at positives and don't get dragged into the negatives. The negatives are gonna be there and they are literally never ending. So don't live in that world. Live in the world that is positive and that's successful and that is happy, and celebrate the fact that you've coped with the negative part and you're still here and you're still alive and you're still moving strong. That's the message, and that's the secret to life. Thank you very much. No, with all that said, I want again still wishing everybody a happy new year. Hope you're off to a great start. And if you like the channel, please subscribe, share the video, and hit the like button, and also hit the notification button so that whenever I post, you'll get a quick message to let you know to come take a look, because I've always got something to say. We've always got good things happening, and I welcome you to join us and travel on the journey that is my life. Again, take care, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.